Tonight, a dead body with apparent gunshot wounds is discovered in a drain in Odson. A mother makes a desperate plea for her missing teen daughter to return home.
She has never run away before, never run away.
And the Department of Health holds meetings to discuss, review, and evaluate St. Lucia's level of preparedness for a possible case of new coronavirus. The details of these stories and more are coming up.
This is the Hot 7 Nightly News with Lovely and Amy Joseph.
Good night. It is Tuesday, the 18th of February 2020. Welcome to the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. The broadcast is being simulcast on KISS FM. You can watch via our website www.caribbeanhottv.com or on our free Caribbean Hot FM mobile app. I'm Lovely St. Amy Joseph. Thank you for joining us. As news of the discovery of a dead body spread on Tuesday, residents of Odson gathered at the scene as police combed the area where a young man's dead body was found in a drain. A vehicle with a bullet hole through the windscreen was found nearby. The young man has yet to be identified. Details surrounding the apparent shooting and resulting homicide are still sketchy, but a police investigation is underway and we will have further details in a subsequent newscast. The distraught mother of a teenage girl who has been missing for 1 week is sending a heartfelt plea to her daughter to come back home. The mother says she believes that her daughter is on the run with a schoolmate who has a history of running away from home. She also warns other parents to develop closer relationships with their children in order to avoid being in a similar situation. Rochelle Gonzalez reports.
Saralyn Lecomte could not contain her emotions as she stood before the Hot 7 cameras, making a heartfelt plea to her teenage daughter, Kayloni Gaston, to come back home. The 13-year-old student of the Patricia James Secondary School failed to return home on the evening of Tuesday, the 11th of February 2020. Lecomte recounted all the actions which she has taken so far in the quest to find her daughter, whom she believes is in the company of a fellow schoolmate with a history of running away from home.
I was told that she was in the BZ area with some school girl, and we went to look for her in this area. We went to the child's mother's house. We went to the place that the child was last seen, because this is not the first time this child is running away. That's her fourth time, and my daughter is with her. I'm just begging everybody, please, wherever you may see her, please, let her know that I miss her. Come home, please. I love you, Kelly. Come home to us. We're missing you. Yes, I've been searching everywhere. Everywhere they call and tell me that she's somewhere. I've been there. I've been everywhere. Everywhere. I just want you to come home. Come home to us, please, wherever you are. I am not going to beat you. I just want you to come home.
The distraught mother said her daughter has never put her through this ordeal. However, there was a noticeable change in her behavior since forming a friendship with the student she believes her daughter ran away with.
She has never run away before. Never run away.
And how long has she been friends with this individual who has that history of running away?
Well, when I went to the school, I understood that she has been friends with this girl. It's only a week. Only a week she has been friends with this girl.
Did you have any problems with your daughter at home at all?
Well, I don't have any problem, because the thing is, the week before, I noticed that she was coming home late from school. So what I did, I questioned her as to where she come from and stuff like that. And I let her know that at the end of the day, that is not the way to be coming home at least. So she kept on telling me it's the bus, but not knowing that she was with this individual who, used to go different places and stuff like that. You understand? That is how. And then I tell her, you know what, I'm going to send you down to my mom's home, which is much closer for you, because my mom lives in Castries, so she can take the bus back and forth and reach on time.
Lecomte warned parents to take the necessary steps with their children to ensure that this sort of heartache never reaches their doorstep.
All I can say is just love your children, and if it's one thing is love, my daughter gets that. She gets love, she gets that, she gets love. I just don't know what pushed her into that.
Persons with information on the whereabouts of Gaston are asked to contact the family at 714-4276 or the nearest police station. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I'm Rochelle Gonzalez.
The controversy surrounding the killing of former CCC councillor Victor Morris has been building for weeks, given comments by Senator Mary Isaac about an assassination, as well as the implications made about alleged persecution of Morris by the mayor's office, as stated by his son at his funeral service. The Hot 7 News team caught up with Mayor Peterson Francis on Tuesday morning during a routine walk through the city and asked him how he felt about the many rumors. This was his response.
I'm not worried about. I have nothing to say about that. Everybody in St. Lucia has an opinion.
The mayor was not going to take any chance in adding any fuel to the firestorm of rumors.
Whatever statements made by Miss Isaac, do you think that this is a ploy to get back at you? Because, like, you've already announced that you're vying for seats.
Well, let me tell you, that's an area I would not do that.
Police have not disclosed whether they have any viable leads in the investigation of Victor Morris's death. Whilst new cases of COVID-19 or new coronavirus keep rising from the Diamond Princess, the ill-fated cruise ship carrying over 3,700 quarantined passengers, including 169 whom have been diagnosed with the virus since the 3rd of February, the Hot 7 team spoke to one cruise ship passenger who said he is not going to allow the threat of the virus to stop him from enjoying his holiday. Rochelle Gonzalez tells us more.
As the COVID-19 continues to wreak havoc across the globe, including a cruise ship called the Diamond Princess, Hot 7 News sought to find out whether passengers of other cruise ships harbored any concerns about the possible threat of the deadly virus. To date, the Japanese Ministry of Health has confirmed that 542 out of the 3,700 quarantined passengers of the ship have been diagnosed with the virus. With 3 cruise ships berthed at Port Castries on Tuesday, the question was raised asking whether the thousands of cruise ship passengers sailing the high seas daily were worried about the virus at all. Tourist Alan Goodale said he is confident that his well-being is being looked after.
No, I'm not. You know, there was plenty of checks done before we come out here to make sure that we hadn't been in any infected areas. So no, not worried at all.
Goodale said whilst he is aware of the dangers, he is not going into hiding anytime soon.
I mean, it's a reality, isn't it? It's here, and people are dealing with it. But you just can't stop travelling anyway, can you? You know, you've got to apply sensible options, and as I say, there were checks done before we come on this cruise to make sure that we hadn't been in any infected areas. So that's it, basically.
Whilst COVID-19 has been confirmed in 25 countries around the world, there are no cases in St. Lucia or the rest of the Caribbean. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I'm Rochelle Gonzalez.
Now, St. Lucia's Department of Health and Wellness held a meeting to discuss, review, and evaluate St. Lucia's level of preparedness for a possible case of new coronavirus. More in this report from Fernell Neptune.
As the Department of Health and Wellness continues its effort to ensure preparedness to manage the threat of coronavirus, a review meeting was held on the recent incident of an individual treated as a suspected case of coronavirus. The meeting provided participants with the opportunity to identify gaps and to make necessary recommendations to strengthen the country's response to the coronavirus. Chief Medical Officer Dr. Sharon Belma-George says the dialogue was extremely important as it allowed them to identify the shortcomings in response to the recent incidents and to chart the way forward.
This really provided us with an opportunity to test our national plan and our protocols to date. We were able to do a review from his coming to the Soufriere Hospital. We had the team from the Soufriere Hospital there to give us feedback on what occurred and how it occurred. And we were able to look at what was done and how it was done in an effort to improve the situation. Very integral was the Victoria Hospital. The medical director was there as well. So she was able to walk through everything that happened that evening, and she was able to point out what worked, and also she was able to identify some of the gaps that exist at Victoria Hospital.
Dr. Belma-George expressed the Department of Health's commitment to make the necessary changes in the management of a possible case of the coronavirus to our shores.
Some of the gaps that we've noted so far is that we have to increase our surveillance. Our healthcare workers have to be more aware of the environment that we are in and ask the relevant questions. Also, we noted there was a level of panic at the hospital initially, which I think may have been expected, especially for the first possible case. So going through the days happening with him coming into VH, it really helped us to see where we need to put extra resources to be able to manage. We also looked at the communication strategy that was used that night and ways of strengthening to ensure that the correct information is going to the public.
The Chief Medical Officer also reiterated that St. Lucia has no cases of the coronavirus. Reporting from the Communications Unit of the Ministry of Health and Wellness, I am Fennel Neptune.
This is the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. Still to come, the president of the NCOPT sounds a warning to drivers. Adrian Auger weighs in on the indecent exposure clampdown for Spice Mass. And British tourists tell us what they really think about Brexit and its impact. That and more coming up after the break.